Okay, hi, I'm Heather, and I'm making this video more for me than for anyone else, honestly, but man, what the heck, I don't care if other people see it. So what I have here is a family vacation photo album of my husband's side of the family back in 2009 when we went on a trip to Hawaii. And I'm giving this album and some other ones to my daughter because she's turning 18. And so I won't have a copy of these anymore until such time that maybe I get around to going to Snapfish and recreating them because they lost the damn things. And so I have to start from scratch. So this is the only way I get to have a copy of this. Anyhow, so the grandma and grandpa of the family, Virginia and Randy, paid for this trip for all of us. It was really amazing. I mean, we had to pay for some of our own stuff, but they were extremely generous and made sure that we got to go on vacation. So we've got the cousins. The flight was long, but the girls managed to sleep a little bit, 5 minutes. They were just so cute all the time. And this was the view outside of the room overlooking the pools. There were many chicken fights with different combinations of combatants, and everyone considered themselves to be the winner. Thank goodness there doesn't appear to be any pictures of Bella and Jesse beating Heather and Jeremy 3 times. I actually even have a video of this one where Ainsley is tossing Chloe off and she's like howling afterwards. It's awesome. Very proud of her and her daddy winning. See where those pictures are. We all spent a great deal of time in the pool, especially the girls. It's amazing they weren't little prunes by the end of each day. Jill and Joan can't help but be clowns. Unfortunately, Jill passed away in November of 2020 unexpectedly. And that's me. I know that is not attractive at all, but funny. Jeremy wanted to see the sunrise and set on opposite sides of the island, so we all headed out very early for the road to Hana. We didn't quite make it in time for sunrise, but it was good to get an early start. Joan and her boyfriend at the time, and Virginia and Jill. So there was, while we were there was kind of a lot going on for me because it was my first trip back to Maui, I think, in quite some time. We explored the caves at I don't know how to say it, State Park. Only Brad and Joan got in because the water was cold. And the legend of Princess Papulaea says the waters turn red every year as a testimony to the tragedy of her husband murdering her. Joan swam deep into the cave and saw these red rocks. And I don't know if that's the same cave that I had memories of as a little girl. Someone, we went for a ride into them, but they were trying to scare me while we were there and tell me that there was a princess that had gotten lost in there and you could hear her crying. And I don't know, it was, when I was 5, it was not funny. Past a huge banyan tree on the way to the 7 pools. Bella Daredevil jumping in. And we decided to brave the closed part of the road rather than backtracking. And it was very narrow and scary at times, but it was well worth it. We got to see a part of the island that usually only locals get to see, and we went from the lush rainforest to the desert within just a few miles. And we made it in time for the sunset. When we went to Iao Valley, Heather felt like she had come home. When she was Ainsley's age, she spent a lot of time there. We hunted for avocados, but none of them were ready yet. We did find quite a few wild guava, but realized when we tried to eat them, why guava is always juiced. They are so full of seeds, it's hard to eat them. And we hiked off the main path and found a great swimming hole. I really did have some pretty intense emotions while we were there, and I didn't really realize until after the fact, I think, and talked to my mom, and she said, oh yeah, we went swimming there all the time, but it just felt like home. And I didn't feel scared at all, kind of going in the little trails that really weren't for tourists. I got a little nervous when I saw a big Samoan dude coming out with a big garbage bag that looked pretty light, but also really full. And then I talked to my mom after that. She's like, oh yeah, there's grow operations back there. And you definitely don't want to get caught near the grow operations. We moved to Kihei for cannabis, by the way. We moved to Kihei for our last full day on Maui. Jill, Chloe, Jeremy, Heather, and Ainsley walked to the outdoor shopping area so they could get a few souvenirs. They played in a huge playground for a while and were graced with an amazing sunset on the way back. That is one of my all-time favorite photos of Ainsley and Chloe. Love that. And of course, we had to get silly for our last night on the island. And in the pool is the only place Amy and Heather could have ever attempted to hold their big boys like babies. And of course, we're all very drunk. I do not miss the drinking years at all, really. And just some pictures. Joan and Brad went to some fancy dinner together. Glad we got to have this big family vacation. There was a California trip too that I'll also do. I think this was the trip where I got really grossed out because Jeremy was not very healthy at the time, was drinking a lot. And one of the nights, it was in this apartment, he decided, like, he was carrying bacon in his pocket and chicken wings, and then he decided to make this sandwich with some of the bacon out of his pocket or something, and he did something else, but there was a lot of mayonnaise involved, and it was just like dripping down his face, and he tried to kiss me, and he was so drunk, and I literally gagged at my husband. That was not a good day. All right, so family vacation 2009 complete. I miss a lot of these people too. Oh, Ainsley in her sweet little dress. Oh. Okay, anyway,